Now, it's time for our final story. It's called Cold-Blooded Killer. Susan King used to think that there was no place safer than her hometown of Manistee, Michigan.
You always hear about these things. You hear about it happening to other people.
But then she witnessed something so extraordinary, even the police doubted her story.
I knew what I was up against. I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was.
Her terrifying tale started on a normal enough afternoon in 2003, when Susan set out to meet her sister.
I was about to get out of my car, and when I saw her front door open, and out came Dr. Fields.
A visit from the family doctor is rarely good news.
The only thing I could think of was maybe something was really wrong with my sister.
But when she gets inside, it's far worse than anything she could have imagined.
She was just lying on the floor. My sister was dead.
Within minutes, police are on the scene. They interview Susan, but she has questions of her own. What was Dr. Fields doing there?
He had to have seen her. He couldn't have just gone in there and not seen her. Why was Dr. Fields not screaming, yelling, doing something? He seemed so calm.
It was Dr.
But police are skeptical of Susan's story.
I really didn't see how that was possible. Dr. Fields was a well-respected professional.
The case becomes more complicated when Dr. Fields is questioned.
Dr. Fields denied being at the crime scene.
Someone's lying. Fortunately, there's an easy way to figure out who.
We did recover a DNA sample at the murder scene, so we felt as though we had enough to bring Dr. Fields in to request a DNA sample.
The tests confirmed what detectives suspected all along.
The results from this DNA test were negative. They did not match the DNA from the crime scene.
Fields is telling the truth. He was never there. The police dropped the case. But Susan remains convinced of what she saw. She makes a risky decision.
That's when I decided to take matters into my own hands and hire a private investigator.
The PI shadows Dr. Fields for a month.
He was able to get saliva samples. It was amazing what he found.
A private lab tests the DNA and gives those results to the police. No one can believe it. The DNA obtained from the doctor matches the DNA from the murder scene. Could the lab have made a mistake?
That was certainly enough for me to go back and bring him in to have some more testing completed.
But when they draw blood from his arm, the blood doesn't look right.
There could have been an issue with the actual cleanliness of the needle, or something could have happened in the transfer of the sample.
Another sample is needed, but Dr. Fields no longer wants to cooperate. That's when they make an incredible discovery.
I was shocked.
It's the most cunning criminal trick the police had ever seen.
I couldn't believe that was possible.
He created a fake vein.
He had surgically inserted a tube into his arm where they would normally take a blood sample.
No wonder the sample taken right after the crime didn't match. It wasn't Dr. Fields' blood at all.
I figured, yeah, he probably had someone helping him, but I didn't even think that kind of stuff existed.
But Fields never thought he'd have to do the test a second time more than a month later. By then, the stolen blood had noticeably degraded. Susan is finally vindicated, and the doctor confesses to an affair with her sister, which ended in homicide. He's convicted of second-degree murder.
I couldn't believe it. This was my doctor. Like, it was incredible.
A doctor fools a DNA test and almost gets away with murder with the help of stolen blood and a surgically implanted vein. But did it happen? Find out at the end of the show. Welcome back to Urban Legends.